Alright, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck, Happening's YouTube Atheist Community and Tiny Chat Fun. I'm watching this live Google Plus event thing with Healthy Addict and Mole Man.
Like, if we're talking about, say, poverty in, urban America, and someone says, well, they live worse, in insert X country. Like, yeah, that's probably true. But if we're going to do that, then we're just going to focus on, the one person who has it the worst in the world and ignore every other problem. So...
Yeah, well, they just spent all this time, gender issues, band bossy, and, you're like, Fukushima's melting down. We're going to die of carbon poisoning. The debt bubble is humongous. And, this is what their people are talking about.
This FGM, you must be pro-circumcision.
Oh, that guy! Oh my god! Oh, that! And he got suspended, so we can't even link to his thing, the picture.
His thing.
I tried to pull it up today, and unless you saved a copy of it.
I took a screenshot. So this is actually. Let's see if there's another question that we can address right away. Otherwise, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't think.
So we forgot to talk about our Twitter fun.
Twitter.
Our new friends on Twitter. So one of the things, I'm going to try and show this on my phone.
Cool.
But somebody tweeted at Rob and I when we were talking about the band Bossy thing.
Okay.
This was yesterday, not during our stream today. That had this. Actually, I need to turn up the brightness. There we go. All right. Please hold. This image where it says abuser, man being mean to woman, leader, woman being mean to man. If you don't see the...
Anyway, not really important. So anyway, it's, this is the new wave of the future. Anyway, they're just arguing here incessantly about whether being gay is a mental illness. Does it matter? Well, I guess it does matter to people, but I just mean, what is the practical implication of anybody's opinion on anything if it doesn't have something to do with something that actually matters? And obviously what somebody's sexuality is kind of irrelevant, because everybody's perverted, in a sense. I mean, it's all conditioned. It's like a food preference. And you could argue that some food preferences aren't very healthy, but there's no point in arguing that it's a mental illness. No, it's a psychologically conditioned behavior. But whatever. Preference. But who wants to argue that kind of crap? And I just don't. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'll get on with my day and add something to this video. Last night was perfectly adequate. We moved right along. Paul's ego was in the room for a while, and that was nice. And working on this and that stuff, I have to clean up my act. I can't even the thought of trying to be more social is just so, ew. I don't want to do that. It's just this repulsive, engaging other people. Ew. So, I have to work on it. But anyway, I'll work on it. So, until I come back with something maybe more interesting or not. God, I'm just so fucking irritable. Can you see it in my eye? Irritable.
Selfish, where I don't care about fuck all, but selfish enough that I can take care of my...
Alright, watching a podcast with Paul's ego on the Drunken Peasants, TJ's podcast thingy. Interesting. So far, so okay. We'll see. So, I gotta do this networking thing. Gotta start networking.
self. And decide that maybe I don't want to spend all night wringing my hands over fucking whatever's going on in the news that day.
I agree. Anyway, so, yeah, I guess we'll go about our business for the day. I don't think I need anything else. Yeah, I can leave that on. Yeah. Alright. Let's go. So where were we? Anyway, I guess I'll go this way. Since I'm walking this way, I guess I'll go this way. So, let's see what's news. So last night, yeah, so the agenda is basically, really do have to make this all more consumable. So, although I'd like to work on some different kinds of tools and different kinds of things to make interaction more productive and all of that crud, it's still the content's stupid. I mean, that's the rule here, is that you have to create programming that people will watch. And that's what this is. It's programming. Whether I like that word or not, whether I want to deal with that fact or not, it's just the truth that I have to make. Like, I could do, hey, look, it's a piece of foam. Ooh, ooh. I could do that. But that show's not going to go very far. Foam. But who knows? It could if somebody creative, you give that piece of foam to some person who's, got the wheels going, and maybe they can make it pretty fucking cool. Like, tree cancer. Problem or not. Problem or not. Yeah, I could just problem or not everything, right? Yeah, that's pretty talented, actually. Flip and catch. Anyway, that might be a good shtick, Hey, Prickle Bush, problem or not? Not a problem. Okay. Slime, problem or not? You're on the wrong path. Okay. Somehow I have gotten misdirected. Mud, problem or not? Not a problem. Yeah, I like it. It's a good theme, see? So, yeah, see, it's that kind of thing. Somebody spends like 4 minutes or, 45 seconds thinking and saying, hey, I have to come up with a gimmick. So they come up with, homosexual trees. Problem or not? No problem. Anyway, so, we like it. We're going to go with that one, probably. And we're going to go with some other shit, because we have to be more entertaining. And so though I have a strong impulse just to make reaction videos and argument videos, it is sort of true that I've sort of been there and done that. And there is a pointless redundancy to the argumentation now. It needs to be more exact and precise. It needs to be whittled and weaned of distracting arguments. The premises need to be outlined, and we have to get to the business of what the real issue is, the real subjects are. And you have to do that in some song and dance manner. Song and dancing in the woods, problem or not? Mostly. Anyway, cold, problem or not? It's a problem. Me no likey. Is this camera still on? Is the camera still on? Problem or not? Problem. It's missing the cover. I have dislocated the cover somewhere, and the volume goes out on this thing. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, it is a little iffy, So I guess it's this camera will have to become an underwater camera or something, because it's done its job though. Perhaps 1,000 videos out of this camera. Perhaps it's done its job. So we'll have to move on. I got some other ruined cameras thanks to my neighbors. So I can use some of them. Anyway, where was I? Problem or not? Not remember where it was. Problem or not? Yeah, that's a big problem. I gotta work on that one. Snow, yes, they're still there. There's still remnants of the horror. More of it coming Tuesday. Anyway, boy, this video is not very linear. There, snow, some more snow. Yeah, okay, I know it's not much, Snow, problem or not? Not a problem. That much snow anyway. Trees over your head, problem or not? Not a problem. Okay. Where was I? I feel like crap. Problem or not? Yeah, it's a problem. Gotta work on that one too. So anyway, so yeah, the whole point is I have to become a better performance artiste. And that means I have to discipline myself not to be reactive and be, do this laborious, time-consuming work of attempting to filter and focus my performance. Editing, I guess, is what I'll have to do also, which means I really do have to get my other computer running. Because, editing is resource consuming. But anyway, I'll work that out, I guess. I gotta get hard drive space too. Not enough hard drive space, problem or not? Yeah, problem. So I gotta work on that. But anyway, gotta back up my hard drive. So many things to do. Gotta wait till electricity gets back on before I can do that, because I can't afford to have a power failure when you're backing up your hard drive. Anyway, where was I? I'm gonna have to up the performance ante and perhaps make less videos. I think I could certainly do these walk and talks, without taxing my energy much. And, that kind of thing. It really shouldn't be. It does seem to suck up time somehow. I don't know exactly how the process does that, but maybe it does pull energy out of you. The conversations and the arguments are, some of them are complex. Some of them are emotionally difficult, contemplating, a feudal existence, the, difficult task of conveying understanding to other people. It's very frustrating, very unrewarding, which is, taxing on your drive and your capacity to, avoid being sucked into the nap couch. I certainly have that problem. Distracted with, I got so many things I've got my fingers fiddling with. I'm spinning too many plates, that metaphor. Way too many plates. And, I really have to make a stronger commitment to not spinning plates and focus on the ones that matter. And but I've sort of said this before. I've sort of had this running in the back of my head, and I just keep finding excuses to evade my responsibility, my obligation to play the game as the rules exist. And the rules exist where I have to gain some sort of, more consumable personality. Horror. Obviously, I can't be, perky, young, happy person, so I can't fool people with that. So I have to be something else that works. Either I become, I guess the funny thing is I either have to become more monstrous and somehow still convey a message of sacrifice and accepting responsibility, which is difficult for a monster to do. Or I have to become less monstrous, but I have to do it in some way, like My Little Pony or something. I have to do it in some gay way, some kind of way that will make me appealing. But it's hard to find people of my stature, old, who are able to pull that off on this medium. It's a young punk medium, and although I get along with the kiddies, it seems, in mass they do tend to reject me. So yeah, it's very delicate, this circumstance. But like I said, a sufficiently creative person should be able to produce content, that is somewhere between, somewhere in the striking of the pins range. I mean, even if it's a little bit crookedy and a little funky, if you can hit the pocket, 7 out of 10 times or something, whatever the ratio needs to be, and avoid offending people too overtly, or boring them, or being tedious in some way. There's all these damn rules, which is really annoying. And I hate propaganda. I just hate contriving content. The whole idea of contriving everything to fit the common denominator brain. This is so revolting. But again, I have to play the game that's here. Alright, there's a game here already. I don't get to make the rules. I gotta play the rules. I gotta find my way of doing this game. I mean, be the first legless soccer player, the first, armless baseball player, or however you want to analogize it. But I have to transcend my limitations as a semi-neurotic, well, no, I'm not semi-neurotic, a completely neurotic, perhaps semi-psychotic individual, and migrate myself into a gameplay that works. Yeah. Can't cross the blue line and all that kind of stuff. So I probably have to swear less abundantly, and I have to do some other shit, which I haven't figured out yet. Pine trees dropping leaves. Well, needles. Problem or not? Really not a problem. Anyway, I'll probably forget the problem or not idea. Maybe this pine tree thing is something, though. There aren't any pine trees here. Yeah, somebody was molesting a pine tree out here. They left evidence behind. Maybe I'll call the local, what do you call those guys? What's another word for cops? Complabatories or something. Some sort of Tory word. But anyway, I'll call them and have them collect the evidence of the tree raping. Yep, there's another piece there. Quite obviously something horrible has happened back here. Maybe it has something to do with this horse shit. Horse shit, problem or not? I don't know. I'll take a pass on that one. It's a certain charm to it, but it can be too much, obviously. Giving weak answers to questions, problems or not? Yeah, weak answers really suck. Fuck that mealy mouth, mushy mushy shit. Anyway. So hey, I've almost reached the destination area. So we do have a video, it appears. I was kind of skeptical that a video would be accomplished, but it appears that one has been accomplished. So any ideas, any advice will probably be obnoxious and annoying because you people all suck at giving ideas and advice, but you know, go ahead and give it a shot if you feel like it. If you're motivated, if your brain said, well, I am in a drunken stupor, but I probably have an idea. People in a drunken stupor, problem or not? Big fucking problem. God. I'm so sick of the, you know, intoxicated and wasted and, you know, distracted and, you know, the duders. I really shouldn't be. They're my kind of people, generally speaking, but, you know, they're just so vacuous. Yeah. Vacuous. 2 V a word. Problem or not? V words. Problem or not? Well, you gotta have them, so not a problem. Just you kind of need them. But they are they have such attitude, the V words. Full of attitude. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I think I've done enough damage for the day. Well, the afternoon. The moment. God, I don't want to get back into this routine. But the routine I'm in is no good. I'm just so buried under bullshit. One of my chores here. I pick up a stick here and I throw it over here. Yeah. See, but this is like a productive thing to do. Because somebody might trip on that stick. Yeah, like me, the only person who walks back here. So anyway, that's a little bonus coverage. Stick removal. Problem or not? Yeah, that's probably okay. That was kind of a wishy-washy answer, though, so yeah, no good. Anyway, swimming pool. Yeah, not a problem. It's mine, pool. It's mine. It's mine. Anyway, the gazebo's looking kind of crooked. Where was I? Oh yeah, I'm walking. So, I think we're done. Whoa. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Yeah. I don't really hate it. I mean, compared to what, right? I could be you. So anyway. Yeah, it's a nice moment of peace here, isn't there? Very, you know, they put this addition on this house. I've probably griped about it before, but see that garage? They added that garage on. They didn't put a window in it. No fucking window. I mean, it's just totally retarded. It looks stupid. You're just like, you know, people are so weird. Anyway, they actually have a window in the back of the garage. So they have a window in the back of the garage. And they don't put a window in a wall that faces the road. You know, you're just like, yeah, don't make any sense at all. So anyway, till next time. Ooh, add-ons to videos. Are they important? Yes or no? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, another wishy-washy answer. Anyway. Bunch of human spawn over there. Spawn of the humans. Yes. Spore. Anyway, I think I had an add-on or something, didn't I? Yeah, computer is sucking up my life. But it's sort of the theme of my whole presence. And I was thinking about it in relative to, maybe a possible conversation with TJ. It's possible. Who knows? We'll see if we work that one out. In my fundamental argument that he's, could be a semi-precision instrument, but he's like a watch where everything works right, except the hour hand moves backwards or something. Like one gear just needs to be, flipped upside down and the damn thing will work right. And so much of our existence, hinges on single ideas, single conceptual memes, beliefs, principles that change how we play the game. And that's sort of the fundamental, one of the core principles, I suppose, that have led me to what is perceived by some as a radical philosophy. Is some acknowledgement that the true function of intelligence, is not to be used for the agenda, of a personally selfish organism. That the real value of intelligence is system analysis and figuring out the straight lines, figuring out how to straighten the lines, between production and consumption, and the efficiency of that, the efficacy of that consumption becomes one of the questions you ask. Is does this game pay for itself? Does it have value, to the institution of reality? Is reality enhanced, improved by having the fancy flatworms, doing their little dance? And I'd say obviously if your logic, your intelligence were to look at the equation, to look at the weight of the downside risk versus the upside potential, it becomes pretty apparent, I think, that there is there's no way to balance the equation. Yeah, it's just decidedly unresolvable in some sort of positive way. You just can't justify torture. And it's just a fact. You can't there's no undo for it. There's no compensating reward, except a prevention of a greater horror. That's what you're sort of left with. You jump on the grenade, not because you're going to improve the world. It's just that you're going to prevent some greater horror, some greater negative. And this is the dynamic of the game. And, it goes back to the whole, we just need machines. That's what our major primary function is the generation of agenda. We make agenda. We make need. And, that is just toxic to a notion of efficiency. It's just a line bender. It just creates the crookedness, that you've got to keep hammering straight. What other metaphorical analogy can I use? It's the dents that need to be smoothed out. It's the negative comes first. It's one of these logical conclusions. But yes, the fact that, go this way. that people live without considering or contemplating the function of their life. You know, not from their, what did I personally get out of it, but what did my piece do in the game. And that's the surprising part, is when intelligent people can't recognize that the game is bigger than their personal gratification. You know, that's rather dismal. I mean, it's kind of hard to associate a philosophy that defends selfishness beyond necessary compulsive selfishness. You know, we have some capacity to discipline. You know, how much of it we're owned by or released into the world. You know, we can't be unselfish, but we can be moderated. We can adjust the radioactivity, the toxicness of our selfishness to a great extent by this gear change, this conceptual understanding that even if you don't feel the comfort of peace and contentment, if you produce it in somebody else, the value is just as rich. The good is just as good. The diamond is just as sparkly. And that's, this seems like something people should understand, you know, without too much trouble. These should not be untarped. What are they doing in the untarped condition? Ugh. That must have done it. Wow, I'm really talented. I wonder if somebody's snooping about here. All kinds of vandals living next door. It turns out. There he is, the Wonder Cat. Yay! Look how big he is. Look how big he is. Yeah. He's so much better. Yes. So much better. Yeah. Certainly. Sorry for the sniffling. Cold. I'm tired. What the hell is that? Oh, birds. Oh, no, deer. Yeah, their asses. A whole herd of them. Roof, roof, roof. Good. Effectively. There's two, you know, some deers are afraid and some aren't. But look, you know, they've eaten everything again. Eaten all of my myrtle and such. The, you know, this stuff growing here. They ate that up too. I guess this is that, whatever it's called, has that bittersweet, you know, something like that. Bittersweet. I think that's what they call it. So it really does grow quite interestingly. But yeah, the deers are just killing everything. They wiped out my roses. Damn. I mean, I uncovered them for convenience and just made a mess of them. You know. Hey, praying mantis seed pod. Yeah, heck. Yeah, praying mantises, yay. Yeah, that's a good one. It was such a cold winter. I have to see if it survived. Scratching. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm back. No, I won't be back. I should be done now. Oh yes, and end of the video. Thank you very much. And such. Till be the next time.